All right, and before we switch over to a server and start setting it up, everything in there, I want to also add clear alert functionality. And technically, this is optional, but it is my preference that we also hide alert in certain time. Because at the moment, our functionality is following where if we try to submit and one of the values is empty, then basically we'll get the alert and it will stay here unless we navigate away from the page or unless we set up some functionality once we successfully log in or register. For example, eventually we'll display there created user successfully or login successful and stuff along those lines. So technically it is optional, but it's definitely my preference to also clear the alert. Now the way we'll do that, first we'll start working in the actions. So we'll create our clear alert action. Then we'll set up the imports again. This is pretty much given. Every time you set up that action, you need to set up those imports in the reducer as well as app context. And then when it comes to a reducer, I want to set up clear alert one. So action type is equal to clear alert. And then as far as logic, still returning the state. And I want to set the alert back to false. And then both the alert type as well as the alert text, I want to set it empty. So I want them to be empty. And then when it comes to app context, remember, we have display alert function, correct? And what are we doing over there? Well, we're dispatching display alert. But what we can also do is set up clear alert function and dispatch clear alert. But the difference is going to be that we will do that in 3 seconds. So we will set up the timeout. Timeout, in my case, is going to be in 3 seconds. But of course, you can set up whatever time you want. And then in those 3 seconds, we will dispatch clear alert. And back in display alert, right after I dispatch display alert, I'm actually going to call also clear alert. And as a result, what is going to happen every time we display alert, in 3 seconds, we hide it. So let's start working on that one. I'm going to copy and paste. And as a side note, rest of the actions are going to be exactly the same as far as the name of the variable and the value. I just went different with the first one. So in here, let me just select everything, delete. Same is going to be with the value. And then let's just add 2 cursors. And then let's add name. And that is going to be clear underscore and alert. Let's save it. Then we want to go to a reducer. And then the fastest way is going to be copy and paste. So let me just select everything. The action that we're looking for is clear alert. And in my case, I already went ahead and imported. And then we want to set it up in our if condition. So clear alert. And if that is the case, then show alert will be false, like I said. And then when it comes to alert type, as well as this one, the alert text, basically want to set back to empty values. And then lastly, remember, we have app context, correct? So let's navigate here. First, we want to get the clear alert one. And then right after the display alert, let's first set up the function. So clear alert. And I guess I need to start with const. So clear alert function. And then inside of the function body, this is where we'll have our set timeout. So before we do anything, right after dispatch, let's call clear alert in the display alert one. And then in here, what we want to do is go with set timeout. And then in whatever time, we will dispatch the clear alert. Again, in my case, that is going to be in 3 seconds. So let's go here. Let's say dispatch. And then remember, we needed to pass in the type. That was very, very important. And then what is the type? Well, that is clear alert. Let's save it. And now let's notice the functionality. I think I'm going to have to refresh this time. So let me do this here. And then if I'll try to submit and one value is empty, check it out. I still have the alert, but then in 3 seconds, it's going to disappear. So that's how we can set up clear alert functionality.